Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. Errol Spence poking fun at Keith one-time Thurman. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, I hate to say, but I've seen this coming for a while, and it's regarding the Errol Spence Keith Thurman fight. I'm going to keep saying the same thing until otherwise proven wrong. Keith Thurman is a good fighter. I enjoy Keith Thurman's performances. He's very eloquent, knows how to talk boxing, but his recent demeanor has left a sour taste in the mouth of some of the fans, meaning he's not saying stuff that they want to hear. He's not even making it sound like he wants to fight Errol Spence Jr. for any reason. Like, there's no level of eagerness, hunger, or willingness to fight Errol Spence Jr. We get the injury. Nobody's saying come back immediately. Keith Thurman is fighting in May, and Errol Spence is fighting. He just fought Lamont Peterson, and he's fighting in June in a hometown fight. So we know that the two-belt champion most likely is not going to go to Dallas this June, coming off injury, to fight Errol Spence in his backyard. That wouldn't make sense. You know what I mean? Because Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, they fought in a more neutral location, which was New York. One being from Florida, Garcia being from Philly, right? So that wouldn't happen. So either way, Keith Thurman has time to get his stuff in order, test out his elbow, post-surgery and whatnot. But I seen this moment coming. Errol Spence on his social media, on his Snapchat, on his Instagram, he posted this picture. Now, they did the Showtime up front where they unveiled a lot of the marquee fights, and Keith Thurman was there, Errol Spence was there. Now, during the interview, someone says, "Hey, Errol, how's it feel, a guy you want to fight, and he's right behind you being interviewed?" And then Errol Spence jokingly turns around like let me at him. And that's what you see in the screenshot. And you see what Errol Spence put as his caption. He said, I was about to sneak, bruh, but they pulled me back. And then he puts the laughing emojis, and he puts bowling pins. Meaning, I mean, if you're from the hood, if you know slang and stuff like that, he's basically jokingly chastising Keith Thurman, like, hold me back. You know what I mean? Like, I was about to run upside his head, but they had to hold me back. And he's making jokes. Now, this might not seem like a big deal, but I'm telling you, the situations like this, Wilder versus Anthony Joshua, when somebody is trying to take your manhood, pause, and they're trying to publicly embarrass you, and you have the demeanor of what Joshua has been doing to Wilder, you have the demeanor of Keith Thurman, how he's been responding in interviews. It's simply not a good look to me, because now it gives them confidence. Where this is not even for the fight. Like, let's say Keith Thurman, maybe he beats Spence. I would favor Spence, but I'm just saying hypothetically, that's why we want to see it, because it's a good fight. So it's not even based on who's bullying who or who's the more vivacious in the interviews. That doesn't necessarily forecast who's going to win in the fight. We get that. But it does give the Errol Spence Jr.'s and the Deontay Wilders and the different people who are pushing the envelope and trying to make, gaining fans and making you look bad in the same breath by saying the right things in the interviews, by saying they want to man down and step up and fight you or bomb squad. And if anything, to me, it gains confidence, because again, regardless, it just makes it, for whatever reason, it makes it look like the other person is not eager to fight you. And that other person, that opponent, is not really doing a great job of speaking up and proving them wrong. You know what I mean? And Errol Spence Jr., I like what he said after the Lamont Peterson stoppage. He said something to the effect, he said, that's cool if people think they have a blueprint to beat me and they can exploit my weaknesses and flaws, call Al. Call Al. Like, Al's the, you know what I mean? He's the key master. If it's that serious, call Al. You got the blueprint. You know what I mean? So to me, either way, it doesn't make Keith Thurman look good, because now he's having fun. People know Errol Spence is a good fight and a good fighter. Keith Thurman has already acknowledged that. And Errol Spence, in my opinion, he's like clowning, having fun in the zone, gaining confidence. And Keith Thurman, he's not really seeming like he wants to fight for whatever reason. And some fans, man, they keep making excuses like, oh, Keith Thurman's doing it the right way and he's building up interest. But that shit is bullshit to me, because at the same time, it's cool to build up interest, but this is no Mayweather Pacquiao. Those two guys were anomalies. Like, and this is no disrespect to Spence or Thurman, but times are different. Floyd Mayweather was a household name. Pacquiao was a household name. These two aren't necessarily household names. You know what I mean? Like, Mayweather was doing killer pay-per-view numbers. Pacquiao was doing very good pay-per-view, million-plus homes in his prime. You know what I'm saying? When he was fighting the big names and stuff. So it's completely different. So fans acting like to string along fights, this somehow is gonna, it doesn't make sense to wait for these fights to build up and this and that and the third. If anything, it's bad, because again, Floyd is an anomaly, Pacquiao's an anomaly. So there's a chance that some of these fighters may look vulnerable and or lose. You know what I mean? So you got to strike while the iron's hot. But besides, you have to look at what expense. You can say, oh, Canelo and Triple G, they didn't fight in 2016 when people thought they were going to fight. But yeah, look what Canelo had to go through during 2016. When he fought Amir Khan, when he fought Liam Smith, people bashed him. And it took for the fight to be signed in 2017 for people to get off Canelo's case. So, you know what I'm saying? You got to consider how worth it is it for you to let a fight marinate while someone's saying, I want the fight now. I want the unification now. We can have it at the end of the year. You can take your tune-up or whatever. It's all good. And you got to look at it. Because to me, as a fighter, it wouldn't be worth my name being dragged through the mud and people thinking that I'm afraid and terrified and this, that, and the third, to try to string it along and hope that it grows and it builds an excitement. You know what I'm saying? And the people to me, they keep throwing this notion out there that these fights are going to get so much people are talking about the fights they want when they want them. If anything, you also run the risk of it backfiring, where a fight where people really wanted to see it, they might not care about that fight if you make them wait too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say Keith Thurman, it doesn't look like he's going to fight Jesse Vargas, but let's say he does, and he fought Jesse Vargas or Sean Porter in the rematch, and he didn't look great in the fight, and he barely won. Then that's going to take away from the Spence-Thurman fight. So it doesn't always work in the favor of, unless both people keep winning and keep winning impressively. You know what I mean? That's the only way to guarantee it. And in the sport of boxing, that's something hard to guarantee, because sometimes people regress, sometimes people they don't, it's not their night, sometimes they lose, stuff like that. But to me, I can't feel what some of the fans are saying, like, yeah, Keith Thurman, he's being smart, he's trying to make the most money. Keith Thurman got like $2 million to fight Danny Garcia. I don't think he's gonna get that much more to fight Errol Spence Jr. So even if the fight happens in 2019, 2020, I doubt that the money is just gonna be so substantial that all of a sudden, and that's what people keep throwing these stats out, but there's no backing. There's no numbers to support it. Fans want to see Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman right the fuck now. You know what I'm saying? People want to see it this year. And it seems doable. If Keith Thurman takes a tune-up, takes another fight, and then fights and meets at the middle of the year. And see, another reason why fights won't necessarily grow to this colossal magnitude is because you got guys like Errol Spence Jr. and a lot of people don't want to fight him. So therefore, he's going to have to fight guys like Lamont Peterson, a guy who had been stopped by Matisse, a guy with minimal fights at welterweight, but with a good name and a big heart, right? He's going to have to fight his mandatories like Ocampo, You know what I mean? He's gonna have to fight those types of people in order to keep staying busy and stay active. And those aren't necessarily the fights that are gonna catapult him into this whole nother echelon, to the point where by the time he fights Keith Thurman, it's like, whoa. Now, if let's say Errol Spence fought Pacquiao and beat him, something like that, okay, maybe that's different. Or if he fought Terrence Crawford, but I don't see those fights happening before the Thurman fight. You know what I mean? So that's another thing. People are gonna say, oh, Errol Spence is fighting bums and 140 pounders and stupid shit because he's trying to stay busy and he has to fight who's in front of him. And because he's trying to get the fights with the Danny Garcias. Sean Porter says, I'm not ranked with the IBF, so I have no reason to fight him right now. Maybe in the future. You know what I mean? Danny Garcia doesn't seem like he wants to fight him. Keith Thurman don't seem like he wants to fight him. So again, I don't believe what people throw out, like these fights are just magically gonna grow. Like, let's say, even using like Canelo versus Golovkin. In 2016, Canelo beating Amir Khan and beating Liam Smith, that did nothing, absolutely nothing, to grow the Canelo versus Golovkin fight, because those are considered pretty much definite wins for Canelo, and he did win by stoppage in both of those fights. Now, if Canelo fought Jermell Charlo and then he rematched Cotto or something, maybe something like that could crescendo and build up to, or like Jared Swift Hurd or something. And then maybe fights like that, if he fought those and then fought Golovkin, maybe that would build up the anticipation. So I don't just believe by waiting and letting time elapse that the fight is guaranteed going to automatically get bigger, because it also depends on what you do in the meantime. And like I said, for me, it's just Errol Spence, his confidence is growing. His performance matched the talk and the hype. And now he's doing stuff like this, poking fun. Oh, I was about to sneak up. I was about to sneak Keith Thurman. And it's going to keep looking bad. And as a champion, I encourage Wilder and Errol Spence and those guys to keep doing this. Keep doing applying pressure, because fans like it. And at the end of the day, win, lose, or draw, it's showing that they're dedicated and hungry and they want to push for the fight. So even if like guys like that who are pushing for the fight, if they finally got it and lost, I wouldn't be clowning out, because that's what boxing needs. Boxing needs the young, hungry lions pushing for the fights. I'm just happy that they're trying to control their destiny. But if they do win, then the sky's the limit. Let me know what you guys think of this whole Errol Spence, Keith Thurman fiasco. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.